If your Christmas cactus isn't blooming, here's why. First of all, you should identify whether or not you have a Thanksgiving cactus, a Christmas cactus, or an Easter cactus, because they are slightly different and they all only bloom once per year, but they do bloom at different times of the year depending on which one they are. If you've had yours for at least a year and not ever gotten blooms on it, then the number one reason why it may not be blooming would be that you don't have it in a bright enough spot. These plants can survive pretty dim areas inside the house, but they won't get enough solar energy recharging them in order to give them that energy burst that they need to produce these big, beautiful flowers. Once you move your cactus to a bright spot right next to a window or supplement it with some grow lights, you're going to see a much better growth rate for that cactus, and you have a much better chance of it blooming at the time that it's supposed to bloom. Next, you want to make sure that you are fertilizing your Christmas cactus. You can fertilize it with a general purpose houseplant fertilizer, but in the summertime, you should look for a fertilizer that's higher in phosphorus. Phosphorus is that middle number when you look at the 3-number analysis on the bag, because the phosphorus is what's going to trigger it to bloom more so than giving just more leafy growth. Next is in the fall, it's important that these get some darkness at night because they are a photoperiodic plant. That's going to trigger them to bloom. So if they're in a room where you have lights on shining on them all night long or grow lights on them all night long, they won't have that lengthened darkness period at night that's going to trigger them to bloom. To put it simply, in the fall, whenever you want to trigger them to bloom, give them bright light during the day and then really dark nights at night, and follow the natural timeline of the sun and you'll be good. And lastly, make sure that you are not overwatering these plants. You can water them too much, causing them to have soggy soil all the time, which could lead to root rot, which would cause them to not bloom. So make sure that they are able to dry down where the soil is almost completely dry before you water them again. If you follow these tips, you'll find out that Christmas cactus is one of the easiest plants to grow and can live for a very long time inside your home.